Alright, what is good, y'all? We are back again with another one, and this video is actually really important. I am simply going to be going over how to take a loss and how to deal with taking a bad trade, because this is one thing that absolutely fried me to the bone. I did not know how to handle a loss. I did not know how to handle a bad trade, and the reasoning behind it on overall why it is so bad for your psychology, right? So that is the topic on today's video, and with that being said, let's get right into it. So, overall, let me just go over the psychology of taking a bad trade and forcing trades, right? So like I've said this previously, the exact entry system, the exact model, and everything to a T that you need to be executing on, right? And let's just say, you still do all of that to an absolute perfection. You stick to everything you know, and you take a loss. Holy shit! You took a loss. Bro, okay, so, right, you're sticking to your system, you're doing everything you need to be doing, and you take a loss. Okay? Losses happen, right? Right, that is correct. Nobody on this planet Earth has a 100% win rate, so you could take a loss and it could be totally fine, but what that loss does to you and how you react to that loss is what differs a really good trader and a really bad trader, right? So you take a loss, and I'm just going to assume this because this is what it was for me. I would take a loss, and the thought process and what that did to me was I was not able to size on trades anymore, right? So let's say I took the loss on Tuesday. That would ruin my psychology for the entire week, because all that is running through my head is, okay, now I need to get, I'm just focused on getting back to break even on the week. And what I would do is, it doesn't allow me to take a trade with normal size and how I trade. It fully takes away how I would normally want to trade, right? Because, so let's say you take a forced trade on Tuesday. It's overall not your setup, or even it is your setup, and you take a loss, or you force a trade and you take a loss earlier in the week. Now this does not allow you mentally to take the normal size you would on a trade, because you're like, holy shit, if I lose one more, I'm so cooked, right? This is exactly what I would do. I would take a loss and I'd be like, shit. I would freak the fuck out. I would not know what to do. I would freak the fuck out, because I would be I'm like, oh my gosh, if I take one more loss, these accounts are gone. So I would size less on the next trade, just to slowly crawl back to break even on the week. And it's the worst thing you can do. The thing you just have to do, you have to, again, grab your fucking nuts and just swallow the pill of, regardless what happens, regardless if I take a loss, I still need to execute on the system that I know is working. I have a system that works. Why would I stray away from that? Why would I stray away from that even if I took one loss, right? And that's what I did. I would take a loss and I would fully start working away from everything I knew. The system I had in place that I knew worked. I took a loss and just threw everything out the door. I would not take trades with full size, because I was now fearful of losing that other trade, the next trade, and overall it messed up my psychology so much, simply because I did not have the balls. I did not have the balls to just stick in my system no matter what fucking happened, because multiple people will tell you this. You lose a trade and pretty much all is running through your head is, okay, I need to get back to break even. How can I make this back? And you simply just ditch your entire system, bro. You think it's the end of the world. You're like, you force a trade, you're like, this is not part of my system, what am I doing? And then boom, all goes to shit. And you are simply not able to take the trades you want to take anymore, because, so let's say you force a trade, right? You force a trade, or this case scenario, right? It's a Wednesday. Maybe we have CPI. You're lining up for it to be a really good day. It's Wednesday, but yesterday, pre-CPI, you forced a trade. You're forcing a bad trade. And now you maybe take that, and that beautiful setup shows on a CPI Wednesday. You're like, wow, I just caught a nice trade. You're like, let's go. But what happens is, because of the fact that you forced that trade on Tuesday, you are already setting yourself back in a hole. So even though you caught a very nice trade on a beautiful CPI Wednesday, it doesn't really mean that much because you are simply not able to stay out of the losing trades, right? So I'm kind of moving on here, but that is one thing as well. You are, and this was the same thing for me. I was never able to be up on a week. I was never able to be very profitable on a week-to-week basis, a month-to-month basis, because I took these forced trades that kept me below. Like I would be winning trades, but I was simply not able to stay out of the losing ones, and that is what kept me at the break even. That is what kept me screwing with my psychology, because I knew I could win trades. I knew I was a good trader. I knew how to execute on my system, but it's the little things that just fucked with me, right? Like again, I forced a trade previously, and then that allowed me, and that forced me to not have the balls to size on the next trade, and overall I would be scared to just take another trade, and this would lead to me barely cracking back to break even, because again, I forced a trade, I took a loss, and that doesn't mean anything, right? I feel like I've said this in some sort of video, but if you can't execute on something on a week-to-week basis, a month-to-month basis, like literally on a 6-month basis, if you cannot do the same thing like a robot for that period of time, you will give all that back to the markets. I guarantee you will give all of that back to the markets, because what profit you make that does not align with your system is money you will give back. I guarantee that, bro. So if you simply can't stick to your system every week, every month, you will probably stay right at like water level. You will never break above and start swimming with the rest of the sharks, because you are not able to say. Man, that was such a clean line, bro. Alright, I'm gonna redo it. Clippers, if you're watching this, get this one. You are never gonna be able to swim above water level and swim with the sharks if you are not able to stay out of the losing trades. That is what keeping you at break even. You take a winning trade and you're right back to break even because you forced some bullshit before. I've said this multiple times now, so I'm just regurgitating it, but that is a big thing, bro, and that was the biggest thing that kept me in that break-even stage, right? Is just simply, it screwed with my psyche, it screwed with my mental, and I thought the world was over, and I thought my system didn't work, and I just started straying away from everything the second I took a loss, and that's the worst thing you can do. What you need to do is just trust in your system. Losses happen, it's not the end of the world. You take a normal size loss, okay, nothing changes, not a single thing changes. You stick to the same exact system you've been executing on, and that you know that works, and that is the only thing that will allow you to be profitable in the long term, right? This week, for example, I took no trades. Today is Thursday. I took no trades Monday. I took no trades Tuesday. I took no trades Wednesday. Was I like, oh my god, my strategy is cooked, it's never gonna work ever, it's fried? No, bro, I was totally fine. I took no trades the first 3 days of the week, and it is Thursday, and I'm currently sitting up 1.4K per account, and up $7,000 on the day. Why? Because I didn't have any forced trades that brought me down early on in the week, and this is the importance of patience, because if you're simply able to avoid those trades and just size on the ones that are really free, you will be up, bro. Like it's really as simple as that. So you just have to realize a loss is not the end of the world. And no matter the circumstance, no matter if it's 1 loss, 2 losses, you need to trust your system, and you need to know that it works, and you need to be confident in your system, because you have that. You stuck to it for a reason. You have mastered that. You look at it every single day. You look for that exact entry model. So why would you doubt yourself, right? Why would you doubt yourself? It makes no sense. So to recap this video, if you take a loss, it is okay, bro. Just stick to your system no matter what. Dude, do not let that loss alter any other decisions you make throughout the week. Don't size less, don't size more, don't be fearful to take a trade just because one thing happened. No, bro. You need to stick to the same thing over and over and over, month by month. That is the only thing that will give you long-term success. So, with that being said, see you guys. That is my video today. Again, in the description, TikTok, Instagram, free Discord, Alpha Futures, affiliation. If you want to get accounts with Alpha, Kojak, it gets you discounted. And again, please give me ideas. I'm starting to run out. So if you want to hear me talk about something, let me know in the comments. And with that being said, see you guys tomorrow.